Hi everyone, my name is Donna and welcome to my channel of Narc, Sociopath, Abuse, Clarity. Today's topic is 8 tips navigating narcissist toxic family during the holiday season. Yes, this is the holiday season. This is a time that everybody's around their family, you're enjoying good food, enjoying some music, reminiscing of the old times, of, looking at family pictures and just having a good old time. Just getting together, seeing those relatives that you haven't seen in a while. But for some people, it's not actually like that for them. When they get around their family during the holiday season, it's nothing but a bunch of arguing, bickering, insults, and you just feel uncomfortable. You're not happy there. And you walk out of there and your whole spirit is just like, why did I go? Why did I go? Why did I be bothered with this? So I'm doing this video because also a viewer had emailed me a few days ago and they was asking some tips. So I'm going to give some tips to help with this anxiety that you might be going through over the holiday seasons because you have to be around your narcissistic or toxic family members. But if you have been watching my channel, I want to say is I don't advocate being around these people. I say strongly, if you can, just stay the hell away from them. If you know these people are narcissistic, toxic family members, just do no contact. It's just best. And especially if you're a person that's going through healing process right now, it might be best that you stay away from them because they might do something that would trigger you and then you'll go back again. So you don't need to be triggered during the holiday season. You don't need to be triggered at any time of your life. But I'm going to, give you a couple of tips because some situation, like I said, you might have to go and be around them because you want to go and see your cousin who's not narcissistic, who's not toxic, and your nieces, your nephews, and you want to have your kids go and see their little cousins and everything. So that's understandable. So you might have to be stuck. You want to go and see the good ones, but they're going to be around the bad ones, unfortunately. So here's some tips. Now, the first tip I would suggest for you is we're going through this pandemic right now with this coronavirus. We are supposed to be doing social distancing, wearing our masks, keeping our hands washed. We don't need to be doing those social gatherings. So that's number one you can use right there. You don't want to come to the event because you don't want to take a chance of catching anything or passing on to anybody else. And you would feel guilty if you know that you got somebody sick or you get sick, you can't go to work. So that's one excuse you can use. Tip number 2, take someone with you. Now, why do I say take someone with you? When you take someone with you, sometimes that could be kind of helpful to ease some of your anxiety. And then also, when a new person is around, usually people act on their best behavior. So they might not show off as much as you having someone with you. But remember, if you're going to bring a friend with you, kind of give them a heads up to let them know a little bit of what your family is like. I mean, you don't have to be in detail, but just kind of know what your family is like so they can know what they're getting into, because new people to them sometimes could be a way of recruiting flying monkeys. We know about the flying monkeys. If not, I'll be doing videos on that too. So that's a tip right there. Tip number 3. Go in your own vehicle. Why do I say that? I know sometimes you might have, your relative might say, hey, you don't have to drive. I'll pick you up. I'll bring you home and everything, right? Now, when that happens, you kind of have to leave on their time. It's their schedule. And you don't want to be stuck in a situation that something might happen. One of your family members, say something off, and it triggers you, and you feeling uncomfortable, and you kind of want to leave now, but you're not going to be able just to walk out and just leave like that because someone else is driving. So if you can, go in your own vehicle. If you don't have a car, get an Uber or something like that, but just don't kind of depend on anybody else, just in case if something happens that you just want to leave. Now, tip number 4. Very important, everyone. Limit your alcohol. Why do I say limit your alcohol? Because you have to remember, if you're having a few too many of those eggnogs with that spiced rum, that can increase your anxiety level and also can lead to you reacting in a certain way. and a certain way of you reacting to what they say. And don't forget, that's what narcissistic people do. They love to trigger you. They love to see your reaction. And you don't want to give that to them. Don't give them that power. So it's just best, limit your drinking. If you can, don't drink at all, because you don't know how that's going to affect you with your anxiety, and you don't want to have any problems. Tip number 5, gray rock. What do I mean by the gray rock? Gray rock is basically when you're having conversations with these narcissistic, toxic people, sociopath, whatever, the whole cluster B personality disorder. When they ask you questions, just give them, straight answers. Don't elaborate. Don't give them much details, because we all know narcissistic people, toxic people, they are the most nosiest people in the world. And they only want to get information from you so they can use against you. So don't do that. How's things with you at work? Oh, things is fine. That's it. Oh, that new guy that you're dating, how's everything working in the relationship? It's working fine. You get the picture? What I'm saying is, just cut and dry. You don't have to be rude about it. Don't be rude, because that's what they want. They want you to get rude so they can say, oh, what's wrong with you? That's gaslight. Then they'll try to gaslight you. Just keep it simple. Tip number 6, limit visit time. Now, what do I mean by that? This event that you have to go see your family and stuff, limit the time. Basically set in your mind and say to yourself is, I'm only going to go there and I'm only going to spend 90 minutes. I'm only going to spend 2 hours. That's it. Right? And kind of give them a heads up beforehand that you come and say, I can't really stay too long due to the fact the next day I have to go to work, or I have to pick up somebody. Just whatever excuse you want to give them, so they'll know ahead of time that you're not going to be staying for long. So you might want to have it set up. If you know dinner starts at 8 o'clock, you're going to get there like 7:30. So you get there just before dinner. When dinner's over, 30 minutes later, you just leave. So when you're leaving early, they won't question like, why are you leaving early? Oh, come on, stay a little bit longer. No. Just leave. And do not get tricked into, well, they're being very nice today and stuff. Remember, narcissistic people are miserable people. They're not nice people. And whenever they're acting nice to you, they have a hidden agenda. It's a mask that they're putting on. So don't fall for it, because like this is the holiday season and there's a whole lot of hoovering going on right now. So don't fall for it. So limit your time there and stick to it. In other words, you're basically setting boundaries before you go there, and stick to your boundaries. Tip number 7, grandkids. I know you're wondering, why am I talking about grandkids? This is very important. Now, I don't know if this could be a person who's watching, could be going with their children. So you want to take your children, go see their grandparents. Now, which is one thing I never really understood. If you know that if your parents are narcissistic, toxic, why would you really want your kids around these type of people? I don't understand. I say best not. But in some cases, maybe you have to. But if you do, make sure your kids is not around these people for a big period of time unsupervised. Because remember, grandparents, their grandchildren to them is a new source of supply that they can use. They love grandchildren because it's a new source of supply. They will put stuff in your kids' heads and turn your kids against you. And that's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. And I'll get into that. I'm going to do some videos about, narcissistic grandparents, the grandmother, the grandfather. So if you bring in your kids, and you might bring your kids because, like I said, could be that one relative that's not toxic, a good person, they have kids, and, you want the cousins to meet up with each other. Understandable. But like I said, just don't leave your children around the grandparents for a period of time unsupervised. You need to be there. And, talk to your kids. Depends on their age. Kind of talk to your kids and let them know. Don't tell grandma and grandpa, everything. Because they will try to ask your kids to find out information about you if you won't tell them. Oh, yes, they do. Especially when they give their grandchildren gifts. I'll get in the video with that one. And tip number 8. Respond, don't react. What do I mean by that? When you're responding to something that someone says to you, you're talking. But when you react to something that's done to you or said to you, you're showing your emotions. And remember, with these narcissistic people, you don't want to show them your emotion because that's what they want. That's how they can gaslight you. That's how they can trigger you. They study your emotions. Because remember, watch my past videos. Narcissistic people, they sit around and study you. They study everything that you do. They even study you down to the way that you eat your food, how you lift your fork up. Yeah, I'm not making this up. These people are sick and twisted. Okay? So, don't respond, but don't react. Okay, so when one of these, family members that's toxic say something that's, out of pocket, let's say, for example, Brian, you've been at that job for like, how many years now? About 6 years, right? Yeah, you've been at the job for 6 years, and, wow, it's still the same level. I don't see no promotion, no raise. You reckon they ever gonna, make you manager? You see? That's gaslighting. They triggering you. So what you have to respond back to is say, yeah, I've been there for a while, and yeah, I might be coming up with a promotion or might be happening soon. That's it. Drop it. But don't elaborate and act like it's nothing to you. So don't react. Just respond in talking. Okay? So do not elaborate. All right? And don't react like, why did you say that? What kind of comment is that? What do you mean by that? How you say this around people like that? That's it. No reaction. Because once you react, that's what they want. Because they triggered you. Because remember, during the holiday season, these people are miserable. They just straight up miserable. All right? And they want to make other people miserable with them. Misery likes company. And when you go to this function, you be around, like I said, I suggest do not go. But if you have to be there, just be firm and be consistent in what you do. Okay? If they saying things to you that you really don't like, or they trying to bring up something, just say you just don't care to discuss it. I love you. I love you, Peter, and everything, but I really don't care to discuss that. This is not the right time. It's the sweet and sour that you give them, and just shut it down. Okay? So it's nothing wrong responding. Just don't react. So these are the 8 tips that hopefully that's helpful for anybody that's going through the anxiety of they have to be around their family members and they have to hear, the toxicness and the narcissist, and especially if you got those family members that like to fight, they get a couple of cocktails and everybody wants to start fighting, don't even bother going, because there's no need for you to be getting locked up that night going to jail and somebody has to bail you out. That's just unnecessary. Because you got some families out here, they just go full-blown throwing fists at each other. No. Don't even bother going. Don't even think about going. Okay? So hopefully these tips are helpful to you. And, hey, leave some feedback. Like, subscribe. Tell me if this was helpful. Tell me what you're doing over the holiday season. And hopefully everybody is being safe. And really keep practicing this social distancing. Wear your mask. Keep your hands washed. Because even though the holiday season and stuff, the virus is still out there. And like I said, tip number 1, you can use that one. You can use that one. All right, so like, subscribe, hit the alert button, hit the like button, leave some feedback, and tell me what did you think. And hopefully this was helpful. Bye. Stay narc free.